Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Rookie Card Collector 123 video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a topic that was covered in last night's live stream. I was watching it just this morning. It was another terrific John and Rick show with Dan, Vintage Baseball PC, as a guest as well. But the video started out talking about a recent recently brought to the hobby's attention card. It was a T206 Hannes Wagner, and uniquely, this one was actually just the image of Wagner cut out from the rest of the tobacco card. So it just had the picture of Wagner and then the name at the bottom. So the rest of the surrounding yellow or orange borders and then the white border around that, all that was missing. And of course, the corresponding back was missing everything other than what was directly on the back of the Wagner image. And through following the video, through part of the discussion, towards the latter part of it, they started to talk about, I wonder if PSA would authenticate a card like this. They do not have a qualifier as restored. They have authentic, they have altered, but not really anything for restoration. And I assume that the owner of the card probably first went to PSA with it, and they probably declined to encapsulate it. And subsequently, the other SGC and Beckett options, of course, would not work either, being as they're both now part of collectors. So they went to CGC, apparently. CGC did the background research and all, and whatever actions were necessary, and they were successfully able to encapsulate it and labeled it correctly as having been restored. And so I wanted to first congratulate CGC on the work they did and actually enabling this card to, looks like it's going to come to market via auction now. And of course, now the question becomes, what is something like this worth? What does it sell for at auction? How much is somebody willing to pay? Seeing the final version, the restored version, the work came out fantastic, it looks like. And the really amazing thing is the owner of this card, which was Keith Olbermann, since it's already been made public now, who used to be originally an ESPN Sports Center broadcaster, and then later on, of course, somewhat of a controversial CNN cable TV news celebrity. But he owned the card way back in the 90s, and apparently in 1999, he went to a conservator and out in California, and they agreed to build this Wagner card back into its semi-original state, obviously using parts of other authentic T206 cards. So the restored version is true restoration, using all original, including the Wagner image and the name at the bottom, all original T206 card pieces. Although obviously it's not the way the Wagner card was originally issued. So that's a separate topic by itself. So anyway, the question that John, I think it was really John, was posing was, would PSA be willing to grade something like that? And it got me to thinking, back in my 15, 20 years ago, in my Hall of Fame rookie card collecting days, one of the toughest Hall of Famers to try to locate not only his rookie card, but really any playing days card of was Jesse Burkett. And Burkett was a 19th century star whose career also included the first decade of the 20th century as well. He was one of those guys, kind of like his teammate Cy Young, that sort of careers overlapped about 50-50 between 19th century and 20th century. So it got me to thinking the restoration work on this Wagner, whether PSA would grade it. And I started to think, I remember a scenario back in, like I said, 15, 20 years ago when I was collecting the Hall of Fame rookies, where a Jesse Burkett card had a similar story behind it. And the main difference was this Wagner, although the Wagner T206, obviously very rare and super valuable. There's roughly about 70 of those known, vast majority of them having been graded mainly by PSA or SGC. There was a Jesse Burkett rookie card, which was produced all the way back in 1893. And it was a company called Just So Tobacco. They produced these cards taking photographs, studio photographs or portraits, and mounting them as a typical cabinet card type backing. Only these were smaller versions, so they were not a full-size cabinet. And the images were smaller photos than a normal cabinet photo would be. But the same concept. And there was a Jesse Burkett. I'm going to show the card here. Okay, this is the Jesse Burkett rookie card that I'm talking about. So this one, like I said, 1893, it's in the format of a cabinet card, or a CDV, as they were prior to cabinet cards earlier in the 1800s, like 1860s, 1870s were mainly CDVs, which were carta vistas. They were a smaller size. So this one is kind of more similar to that, but using more of a cabinet card style format. So this Jesse Burkett Just So Tobacco card is actually one of about 15 or so different Cleveland spiders that were produced in a Cleveland photography studio. And there's 4 Hall of Famers in this Just So set, including, other than Burkett, there's Cy Young, which is also a rookie card, along with Burkett. And then there's a Buck Ewing and a John Clarkson. So four Hall of Famers in a relatively small, quote-unquote team issue, picturing only Cleveland Spiders from the 1893 season. And there's population reports, I believe still up until today, there's only 2 Jesse Burkett copies known to exist. There's one that's 100% authentic as it was issued, I believe. I have never seen that one. And then there's this one here. And I'm going to read, this was last available in 2019 at REA auction. This one was sold. And I'm going to read the description of what this card actually is. And you'll see at the end the similarity between this and the Hannes Wagner, and how PSA back in at least 2019 or earlier, I'm not sure exactly when this one was encapsulated, but they put it in their holder, and I'll explain the way they designated it. So I have not memorized this whole story, so I'm just going to read it from the REA description, basically, parts of it. So presented here is one of 19th century card collecting's great rarities, Jesse Burkett's Just So Tobacco rookie card, issued in 1893. Just So Tobacco cards are one of the most unusual and most obscure of all 19th century card issues, featuring portraits of the Cleveland Spiders cards from the set, and legendary for their incredible rarity. Cards measure 2.5 inches by 3 7/8 inches and are sepia in appearance. Burkett is one of 4 Hall of Famers in the set, along with Cy Young, rookie card, Buck Ewing, and John Clarkson. The offered example is one of only 2 known examples of a Just So Burkett. It's also a card with a well-known and well-documented history. When the card was originally discovered, only the image area with Burkett's name was present. The style of the image and the font used for his name are identical to all other known Just So cards. In 2005, a collector decided to commission the restoration of the card to its original state, and purchased a Just So Tobacco actress card to use as a donor card to recreate the missing advertising. Now, just a quick intervention. The Just So Tobacco set, even the common players from the Cleveland Spiders, most of them are either one example or two examples known. So they're, even common players, extremely rare and very expensive. So there were actress cards produced, as was the case with many issues in the late 1800s. And they tend to be a lot cheaper than sports-related images. So that's why somebody would have gone after an actress card. And then I'll continue on here. Graphic Conservation of Chicago performed the work at a cost of nearly $3,000 and removed the actress image from the intact card, merged the Burkett image area with the actress frame, and created a singular card as originally intended. PSA has encapsulated the card as authentic and designated it trimmed with an altered mount. So basically the central image of Burkett with his name, that whole rectangular part of the card was found and original as it was issued. The surrounding thin borders on the top and sides, along with the Just So advertising at the bottom, is the part that came from the actress card. And the way the conservator did it was to take the Jesse Burkett image and replace the actress rectangle on the original Just So actress card and put this together. And it appears back in, like I said, either 2019 or earlier when this was auctioned by REA, PSA was comfortable enough doing this. Kind of similar to the scenario with the T206 Wagner card. This card actually sold for $15,600 in that auction. And unfortunately, at that point, I was done with my Hall of Fame rookie collection, but had it come up for sale when I still was collecting, especially being in the PSA holder, I would have definitely been a serious bidder going after this one. So it's not typically my norm to go after, restored or, anything like that. But the extenuating circumstances with a Burkett rookie being one of two that exists. And not only that, but just any playing days card of Burkett, there's only three playing days items that exist, and one of them is not even a card. One was the Just So Tobacco here. One was an 1898 Cameo Pepsin, which was a pinback. And then he appears in the 1902 W600 Sporting Life Cabinets series. And I believe he was only offered on either the first series or the first and second series only, because he was his days as a player had come to an end by the time they printed the later series of W600s. So only three options for Burkett during his playing days. Shortly after he retired, he became a manager in the professional minor leagues, and there's a T204 Ramley card from 1909, which pictures him with Worcester, but that's as a manager. And then the only other card with Burkett from his MLB career at all would be a 1921 Coster Bread, showing him as a manager with the New York Giants. That was the set that was produced only for the Giants and Yankee teams who competed in the 1921 World Series. So anyway, just thought the John and Rick show video last night and the Wagner discussion was interesting. It brought back memories to me of this Jesse Burkett, and just wanted to share that and see how things turn up with the this item going up for auction. I guess maybe a major reason why PSA maybe passed on it, and I'm just guessing that they had the first opportunity. I don't know that for sure or not. But I'm guessing the value of the T206 Wagner in today's market compared to this Burkett that sold for $15,000 back in 2019, there's leaps and bounds apart. So very likely I'm thinking that probably had something major to do with it. But anyway, let you decide for yourself on that. But hope you enjoyed today's video. Have a great day, and I'll catch you guys again on the next one.